Hey, Buzz Magazine. I'm Jamie Kilstein, and thank you for supporting a magazine that encourages free thought and inquiry. It's important.
Meglio stasera, baby, go, go, go. Or as we natives say, facilito. If you're ever gonna kiss me,
my friend said he's voting for John McCain because John McCain would be a good president because John McCain was a soldier. John McCain was a prisoner of war. But the thing is, if John McCain was a prisoner of war, that means he got caught. Which means he's a shitty soldier. Which means he'd be a shitty president. Like, I don't even want that guy on the same team of Capture the Flag. With it. Like, look, again, not trying to be offensive. If like Wolf Blitzer or someone was like, we need a president who can sit really still for like 4 years in a bamboo cage while being guarded by the Vietnamese, I'd be like, fucking McCain! That guy! That guy can totally do that. He's so good at doing that.
Hey, I'm Kim Katz with Buzz News in Chicago, and I just saw a dynamite performance, a set by comedian Jamie Kilstein here at the Lakeshore Theatre in Chicago, and I was totally blown away. We just had a fabulous talk, and he's going to do a shout out to all of his fans all over the world. He travels, he does, you know, comedy all over. And what are the countries?
Is it China and the UK?
China, the UK, people all over the world who already love his humor. And
hey, godless, poor potheads. Thanks for listening to me and supporting the magazine. It's very rare that you will get a magazine that actually asks questions and can actually have a dialogue about politics and religion instead of just you know, being corny and pandery and very status quo-y. Sure, why not? So yeah, so thanks, and keep supporting the magazine, and yeah. But yeah, I almost feel like it's a rarity to just find someone who's a comedian. It's like, what do you want to do? It's like, I want to be a comedian, and that's it. Which is ironic. I mean, and it's sad because I think that comedy is like the purest art form. I mean, like I played in bands forever, and because I'm a walking cliche. I just realized that.
We were in a band for 10 years.
Oh my god, that was
our cameraman playing guitar.
Holy shit! My parents, like when they were like, "What's your backup plan?" I'm like, "I plan a band." Right. Like that's my backup plan. And
well, but you know what? I auditioned for Juilliard, and I went to the Goodman School of Drama. So to be in a rock band was not that far of a stretch, and I was thinking of it as an art form.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be the best.
No.
It wasn't like, I just want to get stoned in my garage. I really
for
wanted
sure.
music.
And music, it's like, how weird would that have been if you played with bands? It's like, well, I'm really just doing this to, you know, to whatever. Yeah. But with comedy, it's just, so comedy I feel is this really pure form where even. And this is not to discredit musicians, because seriously, some of my biggest influence, even as a comedian, are musicians. Like, maybe the majority of my influences are musicians. But comedy's even more terrifying because at least when I played in a band, it's like I had 5 other people on stage.
All kinds of support.
I was behind a guitar and like a Marshall stack.
Absolutely.
Yeah, totally. But that was the thing. It's like even if you played a shitty song, whenever you see a band, no matter how bad they are, song's done, last chord, you clap. Whereas comedy is just you and a mic, and if it doesn't work...
Oh, it is the scariest art form, that's for sure.
For sure. And
it's like ballet, because you physically have to be prepared every night, and because you are standing on your own toes or whatever, and you might have a little music, you might have a accompaniment or whatever, but basically it's just like you on your own legs, and if you fall or slip, everyone is like,
and the most frustrating thing is I think like in the 60s music was this really amazing form of dissent, and I feel like especially with our political system right now, comedy could be that. And I spent a lot of time overseas, and I talked to these promoters and these big TV guys, and they were like, comedy could be the new punk, and I really agree with that. But over here, they don't understand that because
Really?
you know, I mean,
it's
people.
getting so TVI.
I do, and we're a very like ADD culture.
Yeah,
where it's
right.
like, you know, before Dylan was dissent during Vietnam, and now these ADD like iPod internet kids are like, I don't have time for metaphor, dude. Like, and comedy, I feel like can just straight up just be like, this is what I think is fucked.
Yeah.
And it could be this incredible voice for dissent.
I gotta say right there, I love your set tonight. We're at the Lakeshore Theatre. We'll do that later, all that stuff.
The Lakeshore Theater's so good.
But I love that you cover all the stuff that I love to talk about that people don't want to put in their comedy, and that takes balls because, like you said, you know, there are some places where you might get shit thrown at you, and you know what I mean. You might actually, you know, be physically injured, you know.
I don't see
doing that, or just, you know, have a horrible night.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it does. I don't even know why that takes balls. Like, that's the weirdest part. Is like,
yeah,
that's what, in theory,
especially like the things.
I'm shocked that everyone's not talking about. It's like you watch the news,
right. It's so
and you see,
almost. Yeah,
oh my god,
weird.
and you see about what, you know, what's happening in other countries and what's happening here and how the Constitution is being violated. I am shocked that every comedian, every artist is like, oh my god, we're fucked. We need to do something about this, and we need to like get people together, and we need to, you know, and
you know,
and the
like,
fact that it is rare is heartbreaking.
I know,
like,
so
I care more about politics than I care about my career than the
Right.
fact that like there aren't many comics talking about it, and the ones who do are phenomenal. Like some of my biggest influences do, but like, you know, it's so
well, like
weird.
for example, you talk about pot,
Yeah.
and you know. Why it's just so funny because it's so innocent and it's so, you know, there's so many people medically needing it that aren't getting it. I mean, really sad stories about, you know, people who are having terrible tumors and they can't get a hold of marijuana. Why is it like, oh my God, you know, does he have pot on him? Is he stoned right now? Why is that still an issue? It's so bizarre. Isn't it weird?
Yeah, it's media. It's totally the media. I'm starting to get more upset with the media than I am with our government because they're the ones who are supposed to be objective journalists and actually do research. And there are some great independent journalists like Democracy Now! And I mean, you get some amazing bloggers. I hate the word blog, but you get some amazing bloggers. And but I feel like when the media demonizes something, like pot's been demonized. It's these anti-drug commercials, and the reason it's been demonized is because, you know, what's one of the big three corporations? It's alcohol.
Right.
It's, you know, and alcohol, and this is not a joke, but a premise from another comedian, this guy Bill Hicks, who was brilliant, where he used to say this in his act, where alcohol kills more people than crack, coke, and heroin combined.
Right.
And we just promote it, and we promote it because they have money.
It's about money.
I mean, you look at the biggest corporations. It's oil.
Right.
It's factory farms, which is why you will never see a commercial for a veggie burger, or you'll never. And cigarettes, alcohol. You know, I mean, none of these things are good for you.
And like you said,
I mean?
the war on drugs costs a lot of money. It costs. What did you say?
$80 billion
a year, or is that all together? So,
altogether, but that was an old stat.
Right. In any case,
and that's just us. That's domestic. That's not what we're doing.
But that money is going to human beings, and they don't want to stop receiving those monies for the war on drugs.
I just learned. This is so crazy, and I don't want to misquote anything because again, I'm a comic, not an academic, but. So Nixon was really the biggest proponent of the war on drugs, right? At the same time that Nixon was like, I want an investigation into drugs. At the exact same time, so America, that was our big thing. And that's when the Netherlands, they saw us and they're like, oh, we should do that. We should do that too.
Right.
Because they're doing it. And so both, to our credit, we got a team of scientists, of police officers, of narcotics agents, of lawyers, everybody. The Netherlands did the same thing. Both of us, same results, which is not only is it not harmful, but it can be helpful in medicinal cases. And the Netherlands legalized it, and then Nixon, if you hear tapes, he's like, pot, Jews, over. And he started cracking down on it, and all of their drug rates started decreasing. The rate among kids who were drug users decreased, and all of ours.
Their plan worked.